Welcome to International Love Story, a podcast about long distance and multicultural relationships. Just a little trigger warning at the beginning of this episode. I am going to talk to Amy. Amy appears as a very strong woman, as a very independent woman, which she totally is. But for her to come this far, it took a lot of effort. And for several years, she had to fight against depression. So Amy had depressions for several reasons. Why exactly, what triggered it, you are going to listen to in this episode. So just for you to know, around minute 20, we're going to talk about it. So if this is something you can relate to, so if you do have to deal with several circumstances right now, if you do feel lost, if you feel misunderstood, this episode might help you, but it might also trigger some emotions. With this being said, I would like to jump directly into the conversation with Amy. She is from South India. Her boyfriend is from South Korea, and I would say they met in the perfect moment. What amazed me a lot was not only was it the perfect moment, but he knew exactly what to say. And in the end, 3 little words, which are, I am here for you, helped her to overcome her depressions. Amy, just go ahead and introduce yourself. Who are you? What are you doing? Where are you living? And everything you would like to share with everyone who's listening right now.
So, basic info, my real name, by my given name by my parents, is Amrita. And yes, I am from India, and you can specify South Indian. Okay, I belong from Kerala, and an honor to meet my partner, also starting with K. So I don't have to think about where is he from. I'm from South India, he's from South Korea. So that's that. And I work right now. It's been 2 years. I'm working as an English literature instructor for some Korean students through a Korean academy. So there's Korea all day. That's what it is funny about it and interesting. That's it. And yeah, I am 27, turned 27 on April. If you want the official detail about how old am I.
Your boyfriend is from Korea, and you do have do you have a lot in common? Would you say you have a lot in common? Not really, right? I mean, those are two different cultures, in the Indian culture and the Korean culture. But how did you meet? Like, how is it working out?
I was very extremely annoyed by the fact that my Korean friends were returning back to Korea. So I apparently Googled about how to, come in contact with Koreans living in India, apparently in my area, Delhi, the capital of India, of course. So I downloaded 2 apps. One was kind of very, nothing happened officially. So I deleted it, like uninstalled it. And then I had this one app and won't say the name, obviously. Very annoying app. So that app I downloaded. For 2 months I tried, and 2 to 3 months, I'm not sure. So 2 months I tried apparently, and very creepy, swear to God. So I was like, nothing is happening officially. I don't see a person I can practice my English with, or English, Korean with, apparently, and I can teach English. That was the idea of it. Nobody showed up, and many creepy people showed up. So, I was like, best idea, uninstall it, get rid of it. So I just pressed on it to uninstall, and the moment I was uninstalling, I saw a pop-up suggestion coming out of it. So I was like, before farewell, let me check it out. So I just checked on it, and then the first person was him, who popped out as a suggestion 3 minutes before I uninstalled the app. So
Mhm.
I just said hi, and he said hi, and I said, "This is Amy," the official way, because you don't know who they are. So he said, "Oh, my name is Hyunbin. You can call me Ben if it's hard for you, because all Korean people have English name. They make up an
Mhm.
English name for non-Koreans to call them out." So I was like, I'm okay with Hyunbin, and can I get your ID, because I was going to uninstall initially, right? He kind of texted me on my other ID, like what there's a WhatsApp version for Korean, so I use that as well. So yeah, he texted me there, and then it began.
It's just like, I mean, when the last time we've spoken, it's a time ago, but when we spoke the last time, I remember that you've told me that you've always been kind of interested in the Korean culture and everything. How did it develop the last few years? Like, because it's not very common. I mean, at least, um, yeah, how do I describe it? But to be like, hey, one day, let me read about Korean history, or let me just check out a few books. I want to learn more about it. Like, how do I have to imagine it? How did it all start?
Before meeting him, I was
Mm-hmm.
already into the language. I think I did tell you that, but then
Mm-hmm, you
it is
did.
just like I met him I started contacting him like last year, 2020. And my love for Korean language, I would be precisely saying, started back in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2013, 8 years before. So I could say that, first of all, I don't know how hard Germany, I don't know, but the BTS trend, which have been evolving. There's a
Mm-hmm.
Korean K-pop band which is worldwide famous, by
Ach,
the way.
yeah. Mm-hmm,
So
yeah.
BTS. People
Mm-hmm.
think I am also into it. The thing is that I love all the music part, but then I apparently got into it because of the language. The language sounded
Mm-hmm.
very mine.
Mm-hmm.
So I just back in 2013 I had a chance to go through this you know different series other than Indian series, because we have a typical plot line in Indian series. Somebody recommended me, watch this. They said Chinese. What's this Chinese drama? It does not have Indian plot. So I
Mm-hmm.
asked somebody, who have knowledge about other Asian cultural things. So one of them helped me out, one of my juniors, to watch that drama. And I said, it's a Chinese drama. And then that person kind of got angry. And she was like, that's Korean, that's not Chinese, and stop discriminating. And a 19, 20-year-old girl, 19-year-old girl, 20-year-old girl who does not have any exposure other than South Indian culture, South Indian language. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, Hindi, that's it. Okay. That's the spoken language in Delhi. What do you expect her? Can't even talk English properly. Like, what do you expect her to differentiate Korean, Chinese, and other languages? So I told her I just wanted to watch it. I don't care for the language. I finished whole episodes in, and woke up from after finishing 26 series, episode. And then I want to learn this language was the only thing that came out.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my um, Russian Latvian, she suggested, kind of like, what's stopping you? And I have
Mm-hmm.
never been that daring to go and ask my parents, hey, I want to do something new. Because I am my parents are kind of cool with anything, but then end of the day they are conservative, and they don't understand why you need to learn Korean. They don't even know that exists, by the way. For them everything is
Mm-hmm.
Chinese, like me. so
Like you
so
thought, yeah.
I she kind of like she asked me what is stopping me, and that question was enough. So that friend of mine, Victoria, she triggered that question, what is stopping you? And I think that was the trigger call for me. So apparently I searched about it. In a week I took admission in the center. For 3 months I learned basic alphabets, and you know how to say myself, Amrita, you know, those 5 sentences for introduction, and few things like I'm hungry, I love you, those basic things that you learn. And they offer courses like levels. And
Mhm.
that time my financial condition was not good enough, and my parents, I was unable to explain to them why I need to learn this language, because there was no reason. It was not
Mhm.
I love their music, it was not I want to see the series, it was not about I want to marry a Korean, which is at this point. It was just purely that language is sounds mine. I really feel like, swear to God, if anybody believes in reincarnation, I feel I was Korean, to be honest. At
Mhm.
that point, I was like, I need to. I don't know how or why or what. But parents are parents, and you need to explain a particular reason to them. Like I mean, why should you invest in me learning another language? So I did try
Mhm.
one time, two times, and my mom said, first learn your own native language properly, in a sarcastic way. So I dropped it. And then back in 2018, I finished my beginners 3 level, beginner 1, dropped it, watched a lot of Korean movies by myself,
Mhm.
and took a beginner level 2 3 months course in 2018. And I realized, I'm sorry to say, but I'll be like a bit, bragging. I was much better than the beginner level 2 kids. Because they had a reason, as in I wanted for company, I wanted for my future use. I was jobless. I watched many movies, I can say. I have watched as much as possible. I had also started seeking out Korean friends,
Mhm.
like through online. Like, can you meet me? Like, let's grab a cup of coffee. Randomly meeting Korean people, okay? Because I really knew that to learn this language, text is not enough, movies is not enough. Not this language, any language. There should be a person who should be there, a native who would push you out, like, hey, you're wrong there. And they don't have to push you out.
Mhm.
Once they talk, you grasp, you get all the ideas. So third 3 months 2018, I did again beginner level 2, finished. All of my friends ended up now in an advanced level, and I'm still in B2, beginner level 2. But then I can read, write, apparently, much better than beginner levels. So I'm proud of that fact. And I do stupid words, which is not even existing in Korean, and he just suffers. So I just mix my Malayalam, my language, with Hindi, with Korean. It's a mixture. So I just keep quiet after saying that. And he's like, I figure out it's okay. I'll figure out.
Yeah. Obviously, your parents know that you kept on learning a Korean. Is it like, did they get a better understanding nowadays why you would like to learn the language, or
They have stopped.
they have stopped asking or stopped trying to understand, or
Both. We are both on that right points. They stopped understanding.
okay.
They have not bothered to understand, because
Yeah.
how do I say, like, they kept asking till my bachelor's year, 3 years.
Mhm.
I tried to explain that it's just that, like, just like that.
Mhm.
And many things happen, like, just like that. And then they're like,
Mhm.
you're too philosophical, you're reading too much literature. And I'm like, how do I explain? It's just like that. Like,
Mhm.
one morning you wake up and you want to have eggs boiled. The other day you want to have eggs scrambled. Why? There's no reason. It's the same thing. It's just a language. It's just like that. So I don't know.
Okay, and one day you woke up and wanted to learn Korean. More or less.
It's the same thing. I watched the series for 3 days. I woke up closing the laptop of my junior. Vicky, Vika, I want to learn this language. And she said, what's stopping you? It just happened just like that.
Yeah, yeah. What are you talking? Which language are you talking to your boyfriend? May I call him Ben? Is it okay?
Yeah, sure. You can call him anything.
Okay. So I'm gonna call him by his American name because I can't pronounce his proper name. To be honest, for me it's just way too difficult.
My mom twisted so much. Now she just gave up and says, Ben, what do I talk?
Which language? Yeah, you're talking in. You're communicating in.
Morning times, English.
Uh-huh.
At night, he's too tired to figure out English words sometimes. He just gives up and he starts talking in Korean. So I just talk in Korean. And then, when he's sleepless, he just calls to learn Hindi from me and few Malayalam words, like to say hi and how are you to my parents, just to, impress them somehow, I guess. So basically, we do converse in both English and Korean according to what's the mood, who is comfortable with what. And sometimes it's bilingual, like he questions in or he speaks in Korean, I reply in English. He speaks in English, I reply in Korean. So both.
You're mixing, yeah. Yeah. Same happens to us, so that we speak German and English. So sometimes a few Spanish words in between if Nacho can't explain a specific word. So just tell him, hey, just drop it in Spanish. Maybe I'll understand.
Yeah, like you get the gist of it. You understand the whole concept. Okay, fine, thank you. Then you go on your own way. So it happens with every multilingual. I think not only couples, but anybody who is more than speaking one language, it happens. It's very common, I guess, to not get the right word. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, definitely. So this is how you met. You met, what did you say, last year in 2020? So you checked your app, you were about to delete it, and then you stayed in contact with him.
His shirt was pretty good. I loved his shirt, so that's why I said hi, because I wanted to ask, where is that shirt? Like, where did you get that shirt from? Like, which online site? Could you guide me through? That's the only thing. That was the main thing. And there was 2-3 categories which I sent a hi to him. Shirt was the main reason. Second, he wrote in his description that he's an English language teacher. So a Korean being an English language teacher in Korea, interesting. Need to ask him to guide me. If I ever work in Korea, which is one of my dreams, like to internship, I was like, I can ask him some tips. And third was his height was really awesome. Being a short height,
okay.
Being tall people is like, when you go to Paris, Eiffel Tower feeling. Like, oh, interesting, you're tall. So that's what I did.
And that's what connected you in the beginning. And then from there on, just developed into what it is nowadays. So when did you officially start dating? Right away? Or is there a date or a month or?
So we would declare that it was May, June, July 26th that I sent him a hi. And usually people go through a series. I don't know, this was very weird for me. So I thought he was a playboy, to be honest. And I also thought that I'm a, very crazy person telling him all these details, which I shouldn't if you're meeting the person just online. But then we had this moment where we started with a hi, and it's very, I don't know how to put it in words, okay? So usually I guess people start with, hi, I'm from India. As you saw in the bio, he would say, I'm from South Korea. And then we would say, hey, nice to meet you. And then hope we can be in touch. This was never the case. It was just, send me your Katok ID. And he sent me the ID. We started talking. I remember the third, fourth thing, at least first 2 things were like, my name is Amy, and as I told you, and I work as an English teacher. I saw that you are also working as an English language teacher. So hi, and then we didn't talk after that for a few days. And then I was in a cab or something, and He texted me or I texted, I don't remember. I said about something related to my birthday. I was like, wow, you're so bad. You didn't even wish me on my birthday, which was like few months back. I just needed something to talk, and we have nothing in common. No language, no culture, not even in the same city, not even in the same country. What do I talk to a strange man who is from another country? So, to bond something, I just said like random topic, dropped a random topic, and then he was like, "When was your birthday?" April. Oh, when on April 7th. What's your age? Oh, I am born in 1994, so you can do the calculation. Are you stalking me? Is the first thing that came to me as a back answer once I said my month and date and year. And I was like, I really thought this guy is a little bit, crazy. Because, like, seriously, am I like, does he think I'm jobless? Can stalk a guy. So I just said, excuse me, like, what do you mean by that? And he clicked a pic of his college or some ID card, which showed year of birth. And then he was like, that's me. That's my birthday. Don't take away my birthday. And I'm like, no, that's my birthday. Because it was the first time I ever met somebody exactly on that date. I've met many people 6th and 8th and April, but it was the first time I met somebody same year, same month, same day. So I was like, nice. But then after that texting, a month later, we started calling. And on call, it was kind of cute, okay, that nobody have waited for me to call him. So he was the first man who actually waited for my call, and he would text me like around in Korean time around 1 o'clock. Are you free now? Did you finish? So I was like, I was literally taken like this man actually waited for me because that was 1 o'clock in their time. So still I had my doubts, to be honest, because I never swear to God, been I have never believed in soulmates or love, or I even had a like personal like I fell into depression because my parents were forcing me to arrange marriage, those things. So I already declared to my parents I'm not gonna marry in my lifetime. And there was a whole new drama because of that. So apparently I thought like, I had my doubts. Maybe this guy is just like, not able to sleep and then, doing a time pass with me. So I just like, oh yeah, I finished my dinner. How have you been? How was your day? And he would tell me like, oh yeah, I went to my dad's academy. I was teaching there, and there was this one, funny student. He would tell his account of story. Then I slowly started like getting curious with this man. Like, why is he like talking to me, and why am I so addicted to talk to him? Because as days were going and weeks passed, within 2 3 weeks later, 3 weeks later, if I'm not wrong, he literally would be there till 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I sleep at 1. That's my almost my really messed up pattern, but I sleep at 1:30, and he would be awake till then. Mostly, I tell him, go sleep. You got to work at 9 o'clock, and he'll be, it's fine, it's fine. It's the only time you are free. So the same sound in the background. Oh. So I was like, okay. And after maybe that feeling came in, I really, really started telling him how I feel about marriage. Love is bullshit. I talked about love is bullshit and marriage is crap. And this man would say, me too. I think the same thing. I was like,
oh wow, that's a good start.
I was like, so the moment I said that, later on,
does he really, or did he just say that to impress you?
No. There were two reasons. I did ask him. I was doing an interview with him, a few days back, like about his past relationship, because I am a vegan. It's my first relationship. and it's gonna be my probably last relationship by the end of this year. So what I couldn't find funny was that I asked him later. So that moment, the moment I said love, soulmate, all this is like, bullshit. It's crap. There's nothing called love. Okay, people just marry for convenience. I was literally bad mouthing, and then he would say, me too. Same, same. I think the same. He keep going, same. Me too. I was like, is he actually feeling the same, or he's just agreeing with me somehow? And then as days passed by, I started questioning, what happened to your previous relationship. It was never for I like this man. It was like, I am very curious person. I've told you before, if something happens, I just want to know what, when, how. I want all the details. So I just like had nothing to talk about other than our how was our day. So I ended up asking him, what happened with your previous relationship? Like, tell me some gossip. Because I have nothing. So he was like, he very genuinely asked me, like, don't feel like I'm like a playboy or something. But then, even though he dated his girlfriend for certain long time. He he said he couldn't feel, and he even asked the girl, let's like stop. And she was like, no, 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 I think we should try one. And he was like, okay, let's try, because he knew that the girl was really good person, a good human soul, but it was just not fitting him right. Like, this will lead to marriage. So he told me that was the very first reason. And since then, I also feel that I'm not made for marriage. He felt like that way. So he told me that this is the honest opinion that I have. And he asked me why, about like, what about you? So I told them, told him apparently about my personal life. I don't know why, but I felt genuine. This person was genuinely asking, like, why are you against love and marriage? Because you said you have never had a relationship. So there must be some other reason. And I don't know. I do joke about, and I do tell my students also that depression is not a bad thing. Self love is a thing. All those things, mental issues, I do talk to my students also, that it is not something you have to hide about. It's a taboo, but you can talk about it. I'm there if you have nobody, because I've been through that stage. Okay, I'm still researching how to get through that mental status where I'm okay with myself. I'm still struggling, but I'm much better than what I was last year and last year. So I told them, I don't know, it's the first time I cried over phone, telling somebody who is stranger about my condition, how I feel. And I not only, it's not that I said something about my family or this, I just genuinely opened about what my mind tells me. Why do I feel this? What happens to me during depression? What happens to me during anxiety attacks? And he said, I'm here. You can text me, call me, anyhow, I'm here. And it's okay. And I've had many friends, I can say many Korean friends, who, just like my parents, believe that depression is a stage, like a teenage. It's going to go, like a puberty hitting and going, it's going to go. So he's the first person. Now many of them do know it, but he's the first person in 27 years who told me, I'm here. Everybody would say, everything is gonna be all right. Just smile, get through it. Don't think too much. Yeah, as if I have a remote control to control me. Like, seriously, if I could control, do you think I would be talking about it to you? I could just control it by myself. I think I was craving for those words, those 3 words, that I am here. And he gave me those 3 words. And that triggered me that I want to say to this man, I think I like you. So my parents came that time, and I cut my call. And he basically knows when I say, like, it's a funny thing. Like, people say, okay, I'm like ending the call, or okay, baby, good night. Those things I've seen many times. like that's the point where they need to cut the call. For him, if I say dad, like shouting way, because my dad rings the bell, he's like, okay, my time's up. He cuts the So it was funny for me that it is like his signal that he needs
Yeah.
to. So it was all done in secrecy because my parents don't like the idea of talking till late night. So I would talk about random things to him, but then that day I was like, need to talk to this man early morning when I wake.
Mm.
So I couldn't sleep the whole night, I could say, because it's the first time I'm having this anxiety and feeling of like I want to, tell this man without regretting. All these feelings were there, and when I get excited, I have no sleep. Have insomnia at that time. So even now, when I'm excited about something, so butterflies in my tummy feeling. So I waited till the morning. In the evening when I got free from my work, texted him in the same you know, app. I texted him like, I need to talk to you. I can't do this over text. I need to do this over call. Like, whenever you're free, please text me. I really, really don't want to regret not saying this to you. Please, please, please. Somewhat like
Oh.
content is same. So I texted him, let's say, for example, I texted him at 4:30. I got 4:30, maybe seconds difference. I got somewhat same text from him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we need to talk. I need to talk to you, not over text. It was same content, not over text. It should be on the call. So whenever you're free, let me know. We texted the same thing, like a copy paste,
Mm-hmm.
and texted each other the same thing. So he asked me, "What is it?" on the text, and I'm like, "Can't you read English? You're an English teacher. Can't you read that I don't want to say that over text? I said that about." He's like, I can't. I'm in the academy. I'm teaching the students, but my brain is almost like there in India. Can you tell me what is it? Did I do something wrong? Actually, he had this phobia whenever he talks to me. I think it's because my character is very dual. I'm very funny and I'm quite serious when things goes like that. And so everybody has a dual personality. Whenever I say like we need to talk, he still now thinks that I am going to fire him from his job kind of feeling. He always asks me, "What did I do? What did I do wrong? I will correct it." And I told him, "It's nothing wrong. Just tell me when you're done with the academy." So I waited for him,
Yeah.
and then on call, uh, I told him I like I don't know what's the. I told him very clearly, I don't know what's the future of it, but I really, really don't want to regret not saying this to you that there was an Indian girl who liked your personality. So I want you to know that no matter if you get into another relationship, also I would love, but I really, really don't want to regret and die over it. Like oh, I could have said that on my deathbed. So I just said like, just wanted to take it out of my head. So I just told you this,
Mm.
and he was like, "I'll come. I'll get you. I'll talk to your parents. I don't want them to force you to an arranged marriage. I'm gonna come. I don't know how, but I'll come." And I was like, "Wait, don't come because I told you. It's not a pressure. It's not a forcing."
Mm.
So he
Mm.
said, "No, no, no, no. I've been dying to say that I like you,
Yeah.
but there was few weeks back you dropped a bomb saying love is bullshit and marriage is crap." So
Yeah. Oh
I was
God.
kind of, like, how do I tell her? But I think you are my.
But when you told him like, hey, I think I do, or I do have feelings for you, at that point, still your parents were trying to force you into arranged marriage, or did they give up already?
They didn't know about this happening.
So they didn't know about him.
They got to know on December, and this is all happening in June, July, August, September.
So until September, though, your family didn't know about him.
September though, before he came, it didn't know.
They still tried to arrange dates for
No,
you to find
no, no, no.
someone, or was that off the table already? Because Ben said, hey, I'm gonna come because I don't want you to get into an arranged marriage.
Yeah. So yes, they were subtly trying to force me, and it's a bit personal. I don't know if your podcast people will love it or not, but I just need to tell this because it is the fact. So
Mhm.
it's like a Hollywood in dramatic Queen movie was happening in my house. I would describe it that way. I tried to commit suicide 2 times
Mhm.
because the mental pressure was too much, and I recognize or I not recognize I identify myself as a bisexual. So I had feelings for both girls and boys, and still have. But now, yeah, apparently he would be like
Mhm.
really like mad at me at that point. So like usually when I like come across friends and us, like when I it takes very much courage for LGBTQ person even in the 21st century to come out. So obviously it was a fact which was hidden from my parents as well. I did try to tell it. I mean, I did tell my brother about it a few years back, but he said, "Think about our family. You know,
Mm.
what
Mm.
if you come with a girl? What will happen to our parents, our family reputation?" I was stuck. I was like,
Mm.
I'm not saying I have a girlfriend. I'm saying I'm a bisexual, and I don't feel anything for the marriage thing. But then they were forcing so much that at one point I walked out of my house and started working somewhere where Ben is working right now. I was working there in that area. I left the house for 6 months, 5 months apparently. And during that time period, whenever I was visiting my home in weekends, they would have a boy sit over with the family, and the official arranged marriage thing starts. It was almost like a medicine I take every weekend. And
Mm.
now I can joke about it, but that time I almost couldn't. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. Apparently, I used to drink water once in a while because my manager or the place where I worked, the person would scold me like you're gonna die. It looks like. So to show him, but I was not having an appetite because anxiety kicks in. Then many things like eating and everything becomes a problem. Even breathing is a problem at that point. So I weighed up. When I came back home after my brother called me, like we are gonna not pressurize you, I was weighing 37 or 36 kilo. As a 26-year-old girl, 25-year-old girl, I was weighing 36. So,
Wow. Mm.
so
Almost nothing. Yeah.
yeah. So basically, my mom would like try to emotionally tell me because I was not able to sleep. I would be just lying down or sitting on the balcony on the veranda, and I would stare because I can't sleep anymore. I can't sleep. My brain just keeps working, telling me like just die. The only solution you can find is just to die. So the whole
So you
thing,
didn't had any will anymore to keep on living. It was all
there
gone.
was
So you
no
didn't know
will.
what there was no will. So you didn't even know what you would get up for in the morning
Yes.
if you have slept
So
though, because you said sleeping was the
so
issue as well.
I would come and lie on my bed because my mom would cry next to me in the veranda, thinking, it's our dream for our girl to get married. We want to see your grandkids, and if you keep doing that, what will happen to your father? Because my family knows that I have a weak spot for my father. Then I also try to explain to them that I have issues adjusting to to a stranger, touching my body because I have body issues. So all these things were was like too much for me to tell them, and
Mm.
they kind of ended up because of my cousin brother. They ended up taking me to a psychiatrist and then a therapist here, and that therapist suggested my mom don't force her, not even for marriage, for anything. She's a very intellectual girl, but the problem is she is not her mind. She's so sensitive. They literally told it in front of me, so I remember. The therapist and psychiatrist, both of them, told my mom in front of me, don't force her for anything. She is not a person who can take pressure. Even if you force her to eat, she would literally maybe like so suicidal she might be that she kind of loses it. So let her take her own time. She will figure it out. And she's just 24, 25, not like end of the world. You guys are grown up. You should understand it's not back in 90s. It is 2020, 2019, 20. You should understand that kids are much intellectual than you guys were when you were 16, 17. So my mom kind of told me, it was very dramatic. She asked me, like, I am sure you won't do anything stupid, right? And later on, again, the pressure started before, me meeting Ben or texting Ben or anything happened. That to that point, that was the first try I did. And then the second time I tried, my father fainted, and I got a call from some neighbor, like, your father fainted, don't do something stupid. So I came back, and I was trying to jump off from the balcony because I don't know why, but that time I was like, I am done. I am done. I can't feel anything for myself also. I want to cry, but I can't. No tears are coming out.
Empty. Yeah.
So it was just like an empty vessel. So all these emotions was gone, and I started working in this academy. Still, the emotions were not there. I felt hollow every day, waking up, dressing, going to academy was like I did like a Mount Fuji, exploring. That was the level of effort I had to put. But after talking to this man, I started feeling off. So I didn't want my parents to interrupt and tell me, like, don't talk to this man. Because what a therapist and a psychiatrist couldn't do to me, this man did. Just by 3 words, I'm here. I didn't want to lose that man who, it's not about man. I don't want to lose that human soul who told me that I'm here, which I was expecting from my parents. But I can't blame them because they are busy with, earning money enough to be stabilizing. So I don't know that it's the situation which is, and society which is kind of molding in. Depression is a big thing. Arranged marriage is a thing. You got to get married by before you turn 30, otherwise the product is expired kind of feeling. So all this was pressurizing, and this man just did this magic, which I was not expecting. So I tried my best not to tell my parents. And whenever I was smiling on my phone, I would see that my dad is like, who's it? Who's that? I'm like, my best friend. He's just like, kidding around. Never mind.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay. Because he knows that I am a very, like, but I know that for a fact that my mother did not say no to me talking to any, texting and smiling on, because after 7-8 months, he saw me laugh. I was always this, like, dead zombie walking around with not eating, just walking. I just walk around because I don't know what to do. And sometimes I sit in the corner and cry because I feel too emotionally full. But after this man came in, my father could see that, whoever that is, I was just laughing, giggling around, or, just like annoyed and like, what are you doing voice recording? So, and then maybe around before he fixed coming to India, I started showing my mom, like, oh, look at this dog, it's my friend's dog. And then my mom would, who is this friend? I've never, known about this friend. Who is that? And I would be like, oh, see, he's all like this guy. And my mom's like, it's pet dog. Wait, is he also Korean? Don't you have any Indian friends? So that was like, yeah, okay. Like, and then, in a joking way, she would say, you have that Indian friend, why he never proposed to you? Like that. She would joke about in the way, like, why don't you try mingling with other boys, like Indian boys? How do I tell her I was mingling with a Korean by the time? So I December, he fixed up that he was already in the training thing. He tried the easy way out. Because of Corona, he couldn't come to India for traveling. So I was also worried. Like, what can I tell my parents? I got a confession. I confessed to a boy, but he's in Korea. Let's go, Korea. They will literally be like, we knew you had depression. Now you're mad. So I was like, what do I tell my parents? And in November, somewhere that after the confession, he told me that he found a training program sponsored by Korean government, which lets them come to India for 4 months, 5 months, like that, I guess. And then because of Corona, he again let me know, like because of COVID-19, he let me know it is cut short to 3 months. So we will be only visiting for 3 months in India. So I said, okay. And then he lets me know the training program has been made online training program. So he don't have to actually come to India. And if he wants to, he have to spend his own money. So till that time, I have not told my parents because there's no, like, what do I tell my parents? There's no basic thing. Like he's coming and visiting and going back. So I was like a little bit confused. I kept asking him, what do we do? What do we do? Because I was like, I like this man. He told me he's gonna come, but what if he can't come? The COVID-19 was the villain out here in the story. He couldn't even visit as a tourist. So he told me, like, as a, he cracked a good news that he got selected for a job now, and he'll be coming in February. And this is the first or second week he'll come. He told me this day I will, board from in Korea and be board in India like this time. I was very, very sure now that I can flex to my parents. See, I have a guy, and he's a Korean guy, and he's gonna come to India. He got to work in India, so I can say that he's a stable guy. See, we're not just like building dreams. It's like actually happening. So I hinted it to my brother first, like through him. So being the smallest one, you have to get the easy way out. So I told my brother, and he said, I don't think parents would be happy. I was like, you were the one who complained I'm not marrying. Aren't you happy that I'm marrying a man? So he was like, huh? I said, you said, when I came out as a bisexual, you were like, no, you can't have a girlfriend. You have to have a boy. I'm getting a boy. Now you should be happy about it. What else do you want? And he's like, no, but he's Korean. I'm like, I was against marriage, remember?
Yeah.
But I really want to marry this man. Huh? I'm like, yeah. Do you even know his background? I'm like, I can know about it. I can just visit Korea. I can take you guys as well. It's fine. So he was like, please talk it out. I'm not going to support you in this. So I told my dad in a funny way, like, Dad, what do you think about a Korean a son-in-law, if you become a father-in-law for the, huh? So, those posters you have, those K-pop band members like BTS and all that. I was like, huh? I didn't understand what he was saying. So you're imagining that they are your husband?
Oh, you didn't get it.
I'm sure the Korean, BTS army would fire me up if they become my husband. I mean, I was like, I literally couldn't understand for almost 10 to 20 minutes. I was like, what connection is he fitting it? The poster BTS people with me. And there are like 7 members. Like, you want me to marry all of them? My brain at times, it works in a very weird way. So like, it pops out, like sarcastic comments just pops out. Like very random. I don't know why. Like if you say like, oh, you're so short. And I'm like, oh, tell you something new. I never knew it. It's just random to me. So my brain was like, wow, marrying 7 people. Wow. I was like, wow, mind blown. And I was like, Dad, it's not a joke at this point. Huh? Like, so you were asking me, I had a boyfriend that time when I was not, agreeing to the marriage. I do have. So apparently my parents think that he's the reason I said no and created the whole drama. But I never bothered to also explain it to them because it's gonna take a lot of time and my energy. So I just said no, he was a friend that time, and then nowadays that we started talking quite often. Oh my god, I can't wait for my parents to know that he and I met on online. Wow.
Oh, okay. They don't know. Okay. Maybe it's better if they don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm waiting till we get married, and then I'm like, Mom, so I'm
Maybe
waiting
in
for,
3-4 years.
oh, like I'll wait after the marriage for a
After
settled,
the match,
when they
okay.
like each other, and then I'm like, the bomb.
Yeah.
Do you know how we met? Like that. Make a story how we met in mom's reaction. Now, here, I did tell my dad. My dad went to his shop, informed my mom that, you know, she was talking about this. Can you ask her, is she joking? Because he didn't take me seriously. She came and she said, who is that guy? I said, do you remember the puppies? Yeah. Do you remember the boy? Yeah, him.
Uh-huh.
And my mom was like, the tall guy? Yeah. I'm sure he won't like you. Wow. Such belief in your daughter. I'm sure he won't like you. Huh? Yeah, he won't like you. No, we like each other. Oh, let him come to India. He'll not like you. He'll reject you. Wow. I was mesmerized by my mother.
Mhm.
The confidence she has in me and my, face. She was like, looking at your skin color, a white skin like him would like looking at your height, a tall person like him won't like you. Looking at you,
Wow.
your eating style, their eating culture, they will not like. He will not like.
Okay.
Everything was he will not like. I said, what if
Yeah.
we like? Oh, his parents won't allow. I'm like, did I ask you? No. Do I want to know? No. I'm just telling you. Yes, I want you to meet him. The rest we will take care of it. That's how my
Mhm.
headache to impress his parents. But you
Mhm.
need to be accepting him is what I want. And my mom was like, okay, let me think. And then he just like, slowly she started expressing that she's disappointed in me. And as if I bothered. I found the love of my life. Why bother? Now, so I was like, Mom, listen, you wanted me to marry? I'm agreeing to marriage. Okay. But the thing is that I don't feel mentally able to accept anyone. But this man made me change my opinion. He makes me happy,
Mhm.
and that's what I need.
Mhm.
And I hope
Mhm.
you would. And she joked about, I won't give you dowry. I said, did I ask you about it? So she said, it's a custom of dowry. We have to give you something, and I'm not very sure that we will be able to give you anything because indirectly it's like it's our against our will. So I was like, apparently we are not asking for it. We are educated, we can earn, we can struggle and survive. It's okay. You
Yeah.
don't have to give your money. And
Yeah.
I didn't say that openly. I said, like in a joking way, the way she said to me, I said, no need, we can earn, we're still young. So my mom just like laughed on it. And later on, yes, I mean, I mean to say, like, he met them, you know, and they laughed on it. Yeah, there was a lot of, silence. It's like a
Mm.
silent movie. So there was a lot of silence in the house. Like he would talk to me, I would talk to my parents, and then it was like I was a
Mm.
translator who was not paid out there. So I did try my best to translate and make each other comfortable. But it's just one
Mm.
meeting they had, so I don't know how comfortable they are. I hope after Corona ends, the lockdown gets over, he can come over and then meet my parents once in a while, get accustomed to what
Mm.
happens here, and the other way around for my parents also to get used to him. I hope it happens soon because I'm worried.
Mm.
So yeah, that's that.
So did he, when getting to know your family or your parents, did he ask for permission or anything already, or is this something that's still on hold?
Now my mom kind of knows that he did not ask for permission because we don't know how to officially do that. But then We have let my parents know, and my parents also were like, are like, you can get married by this end of the year if you guys are very serious about it, if you want to, like we're not against it.
Mm.
So they just let me know
Mhm.
like this can happen.
Which is great. That's a huge step. They
Yeah,
approved.
but the thing is like the official permission would come only when my brother, he's like the elder, like more than my father.
Okay.
He's the one. So
Mhm.
he will come, and then he's out. I mean, right now in merchant, he's merchant navy worker. So he would come in another 3 years, 3 months, 4 months. I'm not sure. Around October now. October. So once he comes, my mom have requested me to take him along and come in like my guy, and then we three fly to Korea. He checks out his house, his family. It's a custom in Korea, in Kerala, to check out the boy's family. Like, are
Mhm.
they, not lying about it? Especially because it's an international thing, so it is more serious. They have to travel. The whole thing has to take off once my brother comes in, and we visit Korea, and then we visit back here, and then my brother reports everything to my mom and dad, and then things can take off. But it's
Mhm.
like 80% it's there because they know I'm a stubborn kid. I say what I want and I just stick to it unless they give me
Mm.
permission. So,
Mm.
they have nowhere to say anything unless give you blessings, have so many kids, and be happy with your husband.
So that's part of your yeah. No, I understand. I mean, I've been talking to several Indians already due to the podcast, and it's always interesting to learn about other cultures in general. And I know that the Indian culture, but then it also depends on obviously where you're living. So from region to region, it's quite difficult, not difficult, different in India. So I understand the issue that you are not marrying an Indian man. Your parents were not able to meet him before, and because what I've also learned is that normally they would make a whole background check before. So they would check
It's a
their
criminal.
financial yeah, it's crazy. So it's like the parents are dating him first and dating his family first before introducing him to you, which obviously for Europeans is very difficult to understand. I understand that it's part of your culture. I understand that it's part of your tradition.
Which is something which
And I
I don't know if you know, sorry to cut you in, which
no
is
no go
why
for it.
arranged marriages, they already do the background check. Then only they
Yeah,
approve, and then only they give permission for the boy and boy family to get into your house to see your daughter. So it's already like foolproof checked around. The only thing
yeah.
that
No,
they
I'm
cannot,
aware. Hmm.
they cannot do
Yeah,
is
I'm aware
do
of
the
that.
background check.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just like as I said, for Europeans in general, difficult to understand. I have also learned that it has some benefits, if you could say so, at least for a man. Now, I think it's a like, don't misunderstand me, but there's a difference between obviously Indian woman and Indian man getting into arranged marriage. I feel like they're a little bit more, after what I've learned, families are a little bit more, parents are a little bit more open. If an Indian guy would say, or like, hey, listen, I've met someone already, while an Indian woman has other privileges or almost non-privileges to pick the guy she wants to date. Um, and this is exactly what happened to you the last few years, and I can only imagine how you felt, especially I mean, you're a very sensitive soul. The fact that you are supposed to date someone or to have sexual intercourse with someone you don't even know. It's for me, as I said, it's unbelievable. It's very difficult to understand. As I was just raised differently.
Can I tell you to imagine something? Imagine you're 24 and you met 24 people, that 24 boys and their families that your mother and father arranged you to meet. That's what I went through. At the age of 24, 24 people telling me, walk, sit, talk, what do you like? So that one meeting decides your entire life. And what do you talk? How much salary do you get? What's your job? How stable is the job? Can you stop teaching or working once? I'm not saying everybody, but what I'm saying is, oh, sorry, but you won't be able to work if you are getting married to my son, or some people. Oh, you have to work, but then salary will come to our son. Is some people, and some are like, you don't have to work. Chill, chill, man. You studied, you can teach our kids. Some people are like that. Some people are very open-minded, but the parents are like, oh, how much will you give your kid? How much gold, how much cash, or which flat will belong to whom, or how much is it worth? Oh, she's short-heighted. Oh, and also many people reject you. Not only you reject. Oh, she's short-heighted. We thought in the photo she's tall. Oh, she's brown skin. And I'm like, yeah, your son is so white, I can't even see the dark. I literally want to insult sometime, but I'm like, okay, I'll control myself. The last person who I thought, okay, this seems a nice open-minded guy. Swear to God, I wanted to literally shout. So I got rejected by his mother. I said, for the first time in my life, I said, okay, I think this guy is okay. He came, saw me, went back, said, we will report, we will tell you what is the thing, because the boy also liked the girl. The girl also said yes. His mother said, oh, your daughter talks too much. I want a girl who would listen to me and, not talk back. I was like, lol, mom. I literally said, wow, lol, mom. The only guy I liked, his mom rejected me because we talk. What am I supposed to do? Am I being a slave now when I contract? Thank God that was rejected. Swear to God. I was very happy. Imagine the mom doesn't say anything, gets married, and then the mother-in-law starts doing, oh, you talk too much. Oh, you walk too much. You sit too much. I'll be like literally in a murder case after that. I might be turning aggressive. So I was very happy that I told my parents how I feel emotionally. I was glad that he came in my life. I was glad that the cousin brother told my parents to make me meet a therapist, and you also tag along. So my mom was able. Now I don't know about the marriage, but one thing that happened all along with this is something happens or nothing happens. Apparently, when I cry, my mom comes, asks me, "Do you want a hug? Do you want to talk about it?" And something happens, I like me, if my laptop just shuts off, I start crying, like as if it's the end of the world. Those things can actually make me cry. So my mom would be like literally she would come and do. I don't know what she thinks, but at least her action makes a lot of difference to me. Is it's okay. It's gonna be okay. It's not end of the world. We can get you another laptop, but just come. It's okay. You wanna cry? And that's a very important question when you have anxiety attacks. Just cry, because sorry to say, why are you crying? Oh, you're so sensitive, is what you hear normally. And you want somebody to let you cry. And that have happened a good thing. That my mother's opinion have changed after I started expressing myself. Even I was I never expressed how I feel and smiled around. So with him, many things about emotions and handling me. My parents now understand most of the time. When I'm angry or shouting, calm down. It's fine. Fine. It's gonna be fine. So I'm like, okay. Thank you for letting me shout.
But you fought a lot to get where you are right now. I mean, it took several years. It's nothing that happens in 1 year. It happened the last 4 or 5 years. I mean,
Since
it's just
I've been having depression, but parents never. So in this 1 year, I could say, in that 1 year, all the things that should have been mended happened. It's a good thing, but should not happen to other people. It's very frustrating.
I understand. Yeah, but I'm glad that we're talking. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that everything worked out for you after all, and that Ben came into your life the right moment, seems like, and that he changed your life completely. And I mean, we've been talking about your future plans. So obviously at some point you're going to get married, but I know that there's a little bit more. So what is your plan for the future?
So actually, we want. I mean, I want. Uh, I have told them that I wish to settle down. At least, for the time being, I want to settle down in India. Start my own cafe if we can. But for that, I don't want to ask my parents for the money or anything because I really want to be close with my parents. So I told him, can we do that? And he said, yeah, but how to manage the money? You know, the first plan we had is he's working in a company right now and he's trying his best and he pressurizes himself a lot. He likes to do anything in a perfect mode. I think it's a symptom of workaholism. So like he's trying something which is not his field. He studied English language, phonetics and related things, but he's working in accounts field right now. So I told him, you don't have to pressurize yourself. And right now, he's not even able to meet me. All we do is video call. So I told him, like, don't pressurize. And, you can always go back, or start a new work. I'm not going to force you to, hey, stay here because, I want you to. So the first plan was that if he likes this company, he's going to extend his contract. He's going to continue with this one for 2 more years or 3 more years, apparently. But these days, he feels that he's not fit. I mean, not fit, but he feels too much pressure. So he asked me, like, if possible, if I cannot continue, if there's, plan B is if we cannot continue, I mean, he cannot continue in this company, he would really like me to tag along with him to Korea. And we do the academy thing, which we are comfortable. So his dad already has a small academy of his own. So, we take our notes and tips from his dad how to work it out. So we start and we do that for 3-4 years in Korea, be financially stable, come back and get a house here in India. So, but start the cafe and academy, which I'm planning out here. So I know it's like a shuffling around, but then to gather the finance, we don't neither does he want to ask his parents, neither do I. So shuffling is okay. I can try. And he told like in a joke way, but he said like, you know what? I don't even have to worry about will my Indian girlfriend be okay eating Korean food because you eat more than me. So actually I'm the one who would be like, oh, I miss kimchi fried rice. Oh, I miss this, I miss that. And he's like, I just had soup. But I'm craving. Can you have that for me? And he's like, oh my god, am I Korean? I think your soul has got mixed up somewhere. You need to find your real body because your soul is here. Your body is somewhere else, walking around in Korea. Just go and find it. So he said that I know that you don't have to adjust with your language because you're quite good. I know he flatters me with that. You are much better. But I also know by myself that I have met many people who are in advanced level Korean in India, but I talk very naturally, I've noticed. That's one thing I can brag about myself, that I talk very naturally, even if I'm talking rubbish. Okay. So apparently he said like, you do understand the content. So it won't be like a, alienated language. And you have been surrounded by Korean people somehow. So you are not going to feel like cornered or, you're not going to have that feeling. Food, I'm sure you can adjust. So the only thing is that we are going to change the country, the weather, and, those things. And I feel very comfortable with, Korean people or other Asian people. I have no problem. I just, the thing is, it is my dream to open up a cafe and I don't want to beg my parents, like, give me cash just because I'm their daughter. I just want to start it with my own ability and for a fact that he said, "You can open up a cafe if you want, but the thing is that you said you want to survive on your own. So the plan B is what I see in the future happening." Because
Mm.
I really can see that he is trying his best, but he's not happy with it.
Mhm.
With a settling in a new company, which is a new field to, like, it's like, how do I say, a baker becoming a wine person, wine tourist. Imagine that happens.
Mm.
That's the same
Mm.
thing I can feel. He keeps saying, "I'm fine, I'm fine, it's okay,"
Mm.
but his
Yeah,
face is like,
you can. You're not. Yeah. Yeah, you can do it for a certain period of time, but at some point it's gonna crush your soul
yeah,
if you keep on doing
he's
what you
not.
actually don't like,
He's gonna be
and then
that.
it's not
What you
worth
said.
it. Yeah,
His,
and then
the
it's not
word which
worth
you
it.
said is exactly fitting it. You know,
Yeah.
he'll be okay, okay, okay kind of person. Kind of patient. He's really patient. Damn patient.
Mm.
I am not.
Mm.
So
Mm.
sometimes, that is bad, being patient, because
Mm.
people like him, I've noticed they blast at one point and they emotionally crush down. So that I
Mm.
think is not good for mental health. As a person who have been
Yeah.
there, done that, I feel very much
Yeah.
like, because of him, I mean, because of me, if he's suffering in here, I don't want it. It's not worth it. Yes, that's what you
Yeah.
said, right? It's not worth it. So
Mm.
I have no problem because teaching is what I want to do. That is for sure. Even if I open up a cafe, I'm gonna teach,
Mm.
because I discovered that I am apt for this job, not anything else. I did a number of jobs, I can say that. Worked in a call center, worked as a waitress, worked as a cafe manager, worked as an editorial publisher, editor. I worked in few, handpicked jobs, and none fit. But even under the stress, teaching makes me happy. That means that's my thing, you know. Until I
Mm.
become
Mm.
irritated, I'm gonna continue with this. And as a matter of fact, I know this is my thing. I can explain things to
Mm.
people.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
hope
that's
I hope
nice.
this plan B works out, because I'm really curious to, as my father said, get married with K-pop member. So I really am curious to see what Korea looks like as I see the dramas and movies. So
Mm.
it's a
Mm.
vacation. It's gonna be like a few years of vacation for me. So I would love to learn, and I prefer to learn Korean language, as my parents did not understand, then I was not able to explain why I like. So I really wanna,
Mm.
if we are gonna go to Korea and settle down there for a few years, my future idea is that I'm gonna beg him, let me learn Korean, please, from an institute.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be going around in this shop and doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
They will be like, "What?"
Yeah, but it looks like, I mean, so far, you have a plan E. Plan E. Sorry, let me rephrase it. Maybe you have a plan E. No, but you have a plan A and a plan B. So you never know.
Because of COVID, I'm sure everybody has planned till plans at this point.
Yeah.
We will choose anything.
Mm. You have to. You have to. Definitely, you have to. Um, but to come to an end, I mean, we've talked about so many topics. We've talked about arranged marriage, how you feel about arranged marriage, about how you got to know each other, about your future plans. If you could summarize it, or like, is there one advice you would like to give everyone who's listening, who's maybe even in a similar situation like you are, who have made a similar experience like you did the last few years? Um, it could also be more than one advice, obviously.
Actually, I would say there are two advice. For one who believes like love doesn't exist,
Mm.
I am nobody to tell you that love is there, like, is like 100% there. But trust me, it comes in many forms, and at the time least expected. So just don't block yourself due to some kind of like mental health, or you know like for me it was that. And don't shut your mind towards love just because someone gave you a bad experience. Because people generalize, they tend to generalize. If one person hurt me, everybody else is going to hurt me. And that is one thing I want to say, that don't close your mind, because love comes in all forms, and least expected time is a repetition. And also, don't close yourself to express your love just because that person does not belong to your caste, religion, culture, country, or state, or your parents' mindset, because mindset will change. But by that time, you're gonna be somewhere else, and that person will be somewhere else. Don't lose your time. They say opportunity will come again. Sorry, it won't. I know for a fact. There's only one time that will come, and if you want to take it, you should. Don't think about what will stop, because it will come along. Things will walk. Things will come along. That's a very important advice I want to tell people. Like, don't think that there's no love. Don't think that it can't work out. Who are you to decide? How you know? You know future? Are you God? Are you some kind of tantric shaman? You don't know. It can work out. To be very honest, personal experience, it will work out. And if it is supposed to, by the way, if it is not going to work out, leave it, let it go, like a frozen song. Let it go.
Yeah.
So that's that. And for people who are stuck or who are still struggling with people like, family like me who are conservative, it's going to take time. I know it's going to take time, but just don't give up. The one thing I would say is that sometimes breathing is hard. Trust me, waking up with depression is not good thing. I have experienced and still do sometimes, even though he's in my life or anybody is. It's something I work up on myself. So it is going to be hard. Come on, life is not cheesecake. You won't get it. Sometimes you go to a cafe, and famous one, and they say it's out of stock, right? So you don't give up on a cheesecake. You just go to the other cafe, search it out, Google. So you need to search. And sometimes take a break, but don't give up. Don't give up on anything. Not even love, not even life, not even on your work. It's in total, just don't give up. So yeah, just because it doesn't work out sometime, put a battery in the clock which is not good. It's working, okay? Voila, you have it work. So just don't give up. Don't block yourself. Don't think that it's not going to work out. That's the whole advice of it. And yeah, love. Also, lastly, when I say love is there, love is gonna find you, or you can find love. I just want to tell that. Oh my God, sorry. So I just want to tell that like there is this one thing which people should understand, that when I say love, it does not come with, hey baby, how are you? Did you eat? Oh my babe, my honey. You're gonna fight, you're gonna scream, you're gonna pull the hair of your partner out. Swear to God, that's gonna happen. But at the end of the night, if you can sit together, look into each other's eyes, and say, hey, so what's up? I'm sorry for the what happened, before. That's done. That's love. If you can apologize without the other person forcing you, that's love. And not only your love partner, it can happen to your family also. We sit together, laugh on it, we throw insults at each other, but we laugh at the end of the day. So love is love. Come on, you're gonna pull each other's, fight with weapons also sometimes. I swear, we will do that. But end of the night, you're gonna sit together without, forcing each other. Say sorry. If you can say sorry at first, that's love. And that's the moment you should recognize, this is the person I wanted in my life. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
So,
And you've come a long way.
I know you know much better than me. You have seen it all in the marriage side. You're gonna fight. Come on.
I know there was yes. We fight.
You're gonna argue.
Often.
You are gonna argue, but end of the day, you're gonna be like,
of course,
you were stupid when you were fighting. You look stupid.
you look ugly when we're fighting. Yeah, definitely. I would sign it. Like, definitely, just like this. It's so true. It's so true.
That's
It's like
that.
at least when apologizing before going to bed, which I think is very important, and be like, hey, I'm sorry for what I've said. I'm sorry I've overreacted or so whatever, because it also happens to me. I appear to be a very calm person, which I am, but there are also specific situations that will
Come
drive
on.
me nuts. And Nacho knows exactly, for example, which triggers to pull to get me there. But at least in the end of the day, we're always going to apologize. And this is exactly what you said. I mean, that's how a relationship works, and that's also how a relationship with friends and family members works.
Everybody.
In the end, it's like, and it's like you're the best example. I mean, you are here being super energized, very positive, a very, very positive person. And like, if I wouldn't have learned about your background, about why you became the person you are nowadays, I would actually never assume that you've gone through things you were just describing to me, that you've gone or that you've experienced depressions, you know. And it's often known that those persons appear to be the happiest, the most friendliest person, that they do have something that's deeper, you know, that they do
True.
have some issues, and sometimes it needs the right person to
True.
tell those 3 words, like, I am here, and they will shift everything around. So your life will shift just like this, 180 degrees,
True.
like it shifted in your case several years ago. And right now I just feel like sitting here in Germany, you're in India, I would just love to jump through the screen to give you a hug.
Would love that.
For being so open-minded, so vulnerable. I mean, it's a very sensitive topic. As I said before, we've talked about so many things, and I just love the advice you've given, that love is out there. And it
It's like a
just
cheesecake, as I told you. Go
exactly.
find
I
it.
love this example. I think you should write a book, though. It's just like,
I
I mean, you're so young and you've experienced so much already. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
you find your way to get, even though, to stay positive. And I know for you, it wasn't always like this. You were empty, you were an empty vase, like you explained it before. But you got to a point where you can even joke about it. Do you know? Like, you've
Yes,
come
that's
so
what I'm
far.
saying.
It's crazy.
That's what
You've
I'm
come
saying.
so far.
Like, I do joke about things and people take me like, oh, she's kidding around. But the moment I tell them this is the backstory of it, and now I'm at that point where I can joke about it, that
Yeah.
that already is an example that I've come that far. But then it takes a long, long time. For me, it from eighth grade till here, it took. And it took a long way to express it to my family that, hey, mentally I'm not okay. I'm pretending to smile. I want to talk. Sometimes I feel nothing. But there are many people out there who don't have many. And as you told, write a book. I am not able to write a book because sometimes preoccupied with work. And sometimes I'm like, I do write diaries and poetries and all those stuff, but it's in my shelf. It's just up there. So it's just there. But I started a channel, as I did, like, send it to you, the link. Why I started that channel is for the main reason. It's gonna be a hotspot. It's not just gonna be lovey-dovey, couple around. I'm just gonna put some kind of, you know, motivating things out there, like once in a while, that this is what you need to do. Like a cheesecake example I told you, like a clock example I told you. Just think in that way. If you can divert your mind, I mean, just think about it. Your mom cooks something, or you don't have something that you're craving for, but you eat, right? You don't stop eating for that reason. That, hey, imagine I wanted a pizza, but I got a burger. Do you just give up on it? It's dinner time. You just eat it. So you divert your mind is the first thing you need to do. And many people, regarding love, regarding mental issues, regarding stress, are not able to do that. The point you reach, you can divert your mind, you're already one step ahead of other people can't think positive. So I don't know about the book part, but I guess I'll be making videos of it. So my plan is that, if future plan, I don't know, but nowadays my plan is to put up videos, making Korean phrases, use it with English and Malayalam meanings so that people can easily, work it out with small words. And second is giving out positive, thoughts, whatever comes to my stupid mind, because I'm not a philosopher out there. You know, I can't be the female Aristotle. Sorry, I'm too higher than that. I'm too higher. He's like here, I'm here. So jokes apart, I'm just saying I'm not a philosopher. It's just that I'm a 27-year-old, person who just randomly attempted to commit suicide, depressed, arranged marriage, things happened, and then there I am talking to a person who is from Germany and sitting out here. So it's all predestined to happen, and also it's free will. So, both things go hand in hand. People need to just work it out. But just don't give up. Only thing is, don't give up.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. And as always, you will find all information in the side notes, and there you will also find how to contact Amy in case you have been in a similar situation like she has been the past few years. Also, feel free to contact her. Again, thank you for listening. Have a good day, a good night, a good evening, wherever you're listening to our podcast. And also, if you like what we're doing, rate this podcast wherever you're listening to it. Please take care and hear you soon. Bye.